We talk too much. We defend ourselves when we should endure. We argue when we should observe. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. Here's the thing. Silence isn't just about holding your tongue. It's about holding your ground. It's a refusal to let the world push you into its frantic rhythm. Today, we'll talk about the 9 moments where silence is strength, where it cuts sharper than words, where it turns chaos into clarity, where it transforms who we are. Let's step into the dark and quiet place where the Stoics lived, where words were tools, not weapons, and where the hardest battles were fought within. 1. When anger demands a reply. Seneca warned us, anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. When someone insults us, mocks us, or disrespects us, the first impulse is to lash back. That impulse is a trap, a little spark that burns down the whole house if we let it. The Stoic response is silence, not because we are powerless, but because we are powerful enough to resist the fire. Each second we stay silent, we prove that our mind is not ruled by someone else's temper. And here's the power move. Silence gives you back control of the story. Instead of being dragged into their drama, you stand there, calm, untouchable. Nothing disarms an angry person faster than realizing you refuse to play their game. 2. When gossip beckons. Epictetus said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Gossip is poison. It pulls us into the lives of others and distracts us from our own duty. It's cheap entertainment that leaves us feeling hollow afterward. Silence here is a shield. It keeps us from adding more noise to the world. When we refuse to spread words that tear others down, we rise above the petty and the small. And silence also protects our integrity. No one ever regretted not saying something cruel, but we often regret the careless word we let slip. Choosing silence means refusing to become the messenger of someone else's malice. It's self-respect in action. 3. When the crowd shouts. Crowds are loud. Mobs demand agreement. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, the opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject. In a world that thrives on outrage and noise, silence is rebellion. To not rush into every argument, to not post every thought, to not join the endless shouting match of the world, that is Stoic discipline. Silence creates space for independent thought. It lets us ask, do I really believe this? Or am I just echoing what everyone else is yelling? Refusing to join the mob may make you stand out, but that's exactly the point. Wisdom is rarely found in the middle of a stampede. 4. When we are uncertain. It is tempting to speak just to fill the air, but silence allows space for reason to work. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our rush to speak can trap us in mistakes we can't undo. When we are unsure, better to wait, watch, and gather the truth before we speak. A word once spoken cannot be recalled. This is one of the most practical uses of silence. It keeps us from creating problems we'll have to fix later. In a world that rewards speed, taking a pause is a rare superpower. Good decisions rarely come from panic, and silence buys us the patience to choose wisely. 5. When others boast or provoke. The Stoics teach us to measure ourselves not against noise, but against virtue. If someone brags, belittles, or competes with us, silence is the refusal to play their game. The need to clap back is just ego whispering in our ear. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Our silence says, I do not need to prove myself here. Think of it as a quiet victory. You choose to walk away with your dignity intact, while the other person wastes their energy trying to impress an audience that doesn't matter. You win by keeping your self-respect untarnished, a victory they can never take away. 6. when pain speaks louder than words. There are moments when life crushes us. Loss, grief, humiliation, they tempt us to scream, to curse fate. But the Stoics would see pain as a teacher, not a reason to collapse. Marcus Aurelius would tell us to endure. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Silence here does not mean denial. It means breathing through the pain and facing it with dignity. We don't have to broadcast our suffering to make it real. Quiet endurance can inspire others far more than loud despair ever could. Your silence becomes a testament that you are stronger than what tried to break you. 7. When wisdom outweighs opinion. Most conversations are contests of ego disguised as dialogue. Everyone wants to be right, to have the last word, to feel superior. The Stoic learns when to step back and let the truth stand on its own. We don't need to win every debate. We don't need to deliver the final word. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let your silence make the other person wonder what you're thinking. Wisdom doesn't shout. It lets reality prove the point over time, and that's a much harder truth to ignore. 8. When listening teaches more. Epictetus reminded his students that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listening is the path to understanding others and understanding ourselves. Our silence is not empty. It is active, receptive. In this space we grow wiser. The person who listens deeply sees what others miss. That's an edge in every part of life. In work, in relationships, in conflict. People reveal who they are when we give them space to speak. Silence makes that space, and that insight is priceless. 9. When action is louder than talk. In the end, the Stoic life is one of action, not endless speech. Words are easy. Virtue is proven by what we do, not what we promise. Marcus Aurelius urged himself, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Silence here is the prelude to action. When we stop explaining and start doing, the world sees what we stand for. Your work, your choices, your conduct become the argument. No speech can compete with that kind of proof. Silence is not weakness. It is discipline. It is the sword and the shield of the Stoic. In these 9 moments, we reclaim control of the only thing that is truly ours, our mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Every time we choose silence over rage, over gossip, over empty noise, we forge that strength. We become unshakable, and in that stillness, we hear what truly matters. So the next time the world tempts you to speak, pause. Ask yourself, will this word serve virtue? Will it make me better, freer, calmer, or will my silence speak louder?